Hello and welcome again to Not Fake News. This is a great cartoon. Check it out. You should pause it and read it. We have a breaking story here from Lindsay Bruce. Breaking. Paris is under attack. President Trump's predictions are coming true. President Trump has warned Americans that terrorists are on the move and he will do anything to protect our borders to keep us safe. He has verbalized recent terror attacks before they occur in Europe, but no one seems to listen. Places like Nice, Paris, Brussels, Sweden were all hit recently by radical Islamic terror attacks. President Trump was proven right once again, yet by another Islamic attack in France. A radicalized Muslim on a terrorist watch list opened fire on 3 police officers at a road check before attacking a soldier at a Paris airport. The gunman launched his first attack after being stopped for speeding at a road check north of the city early this morning, shooting a policewoman in the head. He then held up a motorist at gunpoint, stealing her car and driving to Orly Airport. In the airport terminal, the attacker assaulted a patrol of 3 counter-terrorism soldiers, wrestling one of them to the floor and trying to take a gun. The man was shot in the head. The man was shot dead by patrol officers as they attempted to protect the woman and the members of the public at the airport. Paris is now under a state of emergency. Just last month, President Trump called out the dangers in Europe that are largely going ignored. What they did was they made fun of Trump and said he was wrong because he said that something happened the night before. He didn't mean that. He just meant a lot of bad things are going on in Sweden and it needs to be fixed. So he said, Sweden took in large numbers, Trump said. They're having problems like never they thought possible. You look at what's happening in Brussels. You look at what's happening all over the world. Take a look at Nice. Take a look at Paris. Yet, this is yet another example of why we need to listen to our president when it comes to radical Islamic terror. Our president knows what he's talking about. Let him do his job. And I also did a video, I think it was yesterday, in London. The new thing that they're doing is they're throwing acid in girls' faces. So, in the last year and a half, 1,500 cases of acid thrown in faces of girls. Mostly girls. Like 80% girls, 20% guys. Probably 90% girls. 10% guys are getting hit with acid in their face. That's pretty cruel, man. Okay, these people are out for blood. They're out to hurt you really bad. So, we can't have them coming in America. I'm sorry. Sorry, immigrants who want to come to America and we can't vet you and you're just there's nothing we can do. You know, time out. We're putting a time out on this until we can figure it out. And if you don't understand that, then too bad. Really, too bad. But you're racist. I don't care what you call me. I don't care. Call me whatever you want. You're racist for calling me that. You're a big racist. Anyway. That is it. I wanted to get that out. It's important that you see it. What else do we have here I could pop in there for this? That's another one I'm going to do next. Not now. But I'd like to see this. Amen. The world stopped when Tomi Lahren said this one epic thing about Trump last night. See this. She appeared on The View on Friday to take the ultra-left-wing women that despise Donald Trump. She took them on. Let's see what these ladies had to say. Honestly, I don't want to see I'm going to play it, but I hate them all, except for her.
But your social media following, you have 4.3 million followers on social media. Each of your videos are viewed an average of 5 million times. Why do you think you've resonated with so many people? I think, in large part, I represent middle America. So you've got the 2 coasts, and those individuals seem to kind of just talk to each other. And then you've got all of middle America right there that's dying to have a voice. They don't really feel like they have one. They're not represented, beyond their communities. So I think they watch me and they say, well, she speaks like I do. She thinks like I do. She seems to maybe get it like I do. And I think that's why it's resonated. And also, I do something very different. There's not a whole lot of young conservative women out there. And so I provide that for a lot of young women. They don't have that. told me in the commercial break that you always knew that this is what you wanted to do, but you're just 24. Do you feel like people discredit you because you're so young?
They do, but then I remind them that I'm sitting at the table with folks that are far older than me, and I'm here at 24, so I'm doing something right. You know, something that I'm doing is working.
Now, Tomi, far older, please, let's not date us.
Not you, ladies.
Okay.
About Bill Maher.
Okay, good. Sarah, you're only 25, so come on.
Yeah.
Like, I just started to feel old, so let's dial that back.
Personally. But let's talk about your voice, and let's talk about some hot topics, because that's what we do here. President Trump's travel ban 2.0, because this is the second one, was blocked earlier this week. 6 federal judges now have said that it's unconstitutional. But you support his plan. Are all those judges wrong? I believe so. I don't believe it's unconstitutional. They're going with the Establishment Clause, but I think folks fail to also remember that the Establishment Clause in the Constitution doesn't cover non-citizens, A. And B, he is under his, and I think you could maybe attest to this as well, it is under his jurisdiction to be able to do this. He is able...
But didn't he shoot himself in the foot when he said a Muslim ban? Come on.
But this isn't a Muslim ban. This isn't a Muslim ban. Well, no, unless all the Muslims in the world have been able to pack themselves into 6 countries, this is not a Muslim ban. For a Muslim ban, India would be included. It's a high Muslim population. So, to me, this isn't a Muslim ban.
Does it bother you that he leaves out, like, Saudi Arabia, where he has a business?
No, I agree. I definitely think Saudi Arabia should be included. I do. I agree with you there, Joy. That's maybe one of the points we can have agreement on.
Let's celebrate. Can we celebrate right there? A little
I think part of the issue for me was that his rhetoric during the campaign, when you say stuff during a campaign like, you want to ban all Muslims, or you use this broad terminology, then when you go to introduce policy, I happen to support this 2.0 as well, but when you institute policy that maybe doesn't do that, people look and say, well, what was the intent of this policy looking back? If you said X, Y, and Z over here, why are we not to believe that now this policy is intended to, in fact, ban Muslims, which you said? Is that not his biggest issue?
I think that it is. I mean, for Trump, rhetoric is usually the problem, and it's usually the basis of the problem, but I like to look to policy more than just talk. And when we're talking about campaign promises, wasn't it President Obama that said, if you like your health insurance, you can keep it? I mean, some things...
Well, one thing he said, and they keep bringing it up
that's
over
fair.
and over
That's
again.
fair. But what about
Trump says something crazy every
What
day?
about the fact that Giuliani, because I think it was a slip in the administration when Giuliani spoke out about that, but when he said, he came to me and said it was a Muslim ban, how do you remedy that?
Here's the deal. We have to be honest. I'm someone that's made a career on being very honest. To say that we don't have a problem with jihadists torn in countries that are, Islamic faith dominates those countries, to say that that's not a problem would be to completely miss the real threat at hand. We have to name the enemy. That doesn't mean all Muslims are the enemy. When we look at these 6 countries, we can see they have a serious problem with terrorism. They have a serious problem with extremism, and it's Islamic extremism. We need to be honest. If we can't be honest, we're going to continue to chase our tails, and Americans aren't going to be safe, and Muslims are not going to be safe.
Let's talk a little bit. If we can move on, we have some investigations that are potentially going on right now, and I'm someone who supported investigations into Hillary's emails, into Benghazi, into the IRS targeting conservative groups. I'm sure you were on board with those as well. But now you have an investigation of the Trump campaign and his potential ties to Russia. I also think that that's a valid investigation, given that we know that his campaign had contact with Russian officials last year. That was at the same time that Russia, we know now, was in fact trying to interrupt our democratic process. Do you support this investigation as well into Trump's potential ties to Russia?
I support an investigation, but I support the investigation into wiretapping claims as well. I think if you're going to investigate one, you need to investigate the other. I think that that's only fair, and I also think it's important to point out that President Obama's CIA,
Trump.
but I'm talking about President Obama's CIA director.
Yeah.
He came out and said, I see no ties, I see no collusion here. So when President Obama, who's a Hillary supporter...
Republicans said that too.
Right. Well, when Obama's acting CIA director comes out and says, I see no evidence that there's ties.
There's no evidence of wiretapping either.
But right, so we should investigate both to the fullest.
For me, the difference is that for wiretapping, there really is no evidence for what he's saying right now, in my opinion. But when it comes to the other issue of the ties to Russia, there was a lot of communication with several people in his campaign. I'm concerned, for me, I don't care who the president of the United States is at the time I'm concerned about protecting the democratic process. So for me, there is a big distinction between those investigations. Because one is more challenging.
And that's what we can agree. I think both need to
But
investigate.
they cost money.
Well,
They
yeah.
cost money. So if you're going to investigate it, I want to know that I want some reason for the investigation. Otherwise, I don't want taxpayers on the line.
All right, let me ask you this question because
You know what?
we're running out of time.
Nobody's
We are a show
believing
about women,
that
so
you
we talk
care
about
so
women's
much,
issues a lot.
ladies.
And mostly female, although we have some lovely men here today. So I would like to ask you, woman to woman.
All right.
Is it difficult for you to support Trump as a leader when he treats women so poorly, the things that he said about women? Remember that horrible tape, the Access Hollywood tape? I won't even repeat it, it's so gross. And not to mention the things he said about Megyn Kelly and about Alicia Machado, all that stuff against women.
You know, if we go back to the campaign, which is where most of this took place, I looked at the things that now President Trump said. I look at the things that Hillary Clinton did, and I had to weigh them. But I did. But now we're talking
What
about
did
now.
she say that was so horrendous towards her actions?
She
Towards
was,
men.
you know, she stayed married to
towards women.
Bill Clinton. So would she give him a pass then? But beyond that,
Be seen as a sign of strength to pursue through the vow of marriage.
Tommy, don't you believe in love?
of course I do. But I want to get to your question because this whole Trump is anti-woman thing, I just don't buy it. Because if he was so anti-woman, why did he select a female to run his campaign? If Kellyanne Conway had been a Democrat, you all at this table would have been applauding her, singing her praises. So if he doesn't like women, he's anti-woman. I don't think he would have selected a woman to
It's like
run
saying
his
all my
campaign.
best friends are Jewish and being an anti-Semite. It has nothing to do with
I trust women.
I think there's something to say. You're putting your money where your mouth is. Putting your money where your mouth
So
is.
his rhetoric doesn't bother you, but let me ask you this: you call yourself a conservative Republican and a constitutional conservative, but you also consider yourself pro-choice, which is interesting to me because 68% of conservative Republicans think that abortion should be illegal across the board.
No, I'm pro-choice, and here's why. I am a constitutional, someone that loves the Constitution. I am someone that's for limited government, and so I can't sit here and be a hypocrite and say I'm for limited government, but I think that the government should decide what women do with their bodies. I can sit here and say that as a Republican, and I can say, you know what, I'm for limited government, so stay out of my guns, and you can stay out of my body as well. So I think it's...
You need to go out and speak to women about that.
I do every day. And I get a lot of attacks from conservative women as well.
Yeah.
I think it's
unusual.
equal hate from all sides for me.
You don't have any
Tommy, I told you that we wouldn't bite. Everybody, give it up for Tomi Lahren. We don't bite. We're going to be right back.
Yeah, you don't bite, but you're still snakes. Except for you, Tori. That's it. Thanks for watching.